What is up, everybody? Welcome back to From the Crypt, where Derek and I discuss movies and music and all kinds of other stuff involving the entertainment industry. Sometimes we go into video games, sometimes we go into major franchises, sometimes we talk about one movie or two movies, or in this case, four movies. But nonetheless, we always have a good time talking about stuff that we enjoy consuming as metalheads and movie buffs and all kinds of shit. It's just what we like to do. And what better way to celebrate those things than to just talk about them with the bud? That's just how it is, you know?
Yeah.
So, before we go any further, how you been? What you been up to? What you been listening to? Playing anything? What's going on, man?
I'm on a massive Sonic kick getting ready for Sonic 3.
Hell
I
yeah.
picked up Sonic Origins. I have already beat Sonic 2. I started Sonic 1. What else? I bought Sonic Frontiers today because I haven't played that.
Saw that.
Been listening to a lot of the Sonic soundtrack. That's
Hell yeah.
because the music for 2 and 3 is just awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, a lot
Even
of
though
those,
2's the superior game.
dude, a lot of those retro games, like a lot of the older games, just for some reason have just absolutely zero reason and right to have as bumping of a soundtrack as they do.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of those old games, like sometimes the soundtracks to some of those games are like I remember more than the actual game itself.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's
No.
crazy.
100%. But Sonic is just awesome, and yeah, I can't wait for the new movie. I'm actually extremely fucking excited for it. So, as I love the second one, and yeah, I'm beyond pumped as a huge Sonic fan. 'Cause Sonic 2 is my favorite game of all time.
Hell yeah.
So I've been big into Sonic forever. So it's good to get back into that, considering I haven't really as of late. It's been a long time since I've touched Sonic. So
Nice.
yeah. What about you? What you been playing? Wow.
No, actually, I had a couple days of break from that just because, well, it's Thanksgiving and the holidays and stuff. But Caden also, my brother, he's been super busy with the house full of people over there, so just haven't really had any time. And then my other buddy that I play with, Skylar, he's obviously been super busy. He's got two kids as well, and they always have big get-togethers for Thanksgiving and Friendsgivings and shit. So everybody they normally play with has just been stupid busy. So I haven't really been playing anything, actually. But I have been listening to a lot of music. Been listening to a ton of Worm Shepherd. I finally listened to the new Opeth album the other day, and a little bit this
There you
morning as
go.
well. It's pretty cool. I mean, it sounds like Opeth. Not really a whole lot to write home about, I don't think, but solid album nonetheless. I don't think Opeth has put out a bad album, but yeah. Poppy's new album, absolute fucking banger. Just all kinds of good shit coming out this year. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to do our top 5 of the year. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun episode. Yeah, but as far as that goes, I started Predator yesterday, and
You already messed up that sentence. It should have been I finished
yeah,
Predator
I know.
yesterday.
I got caught up with something else. I don't even remember what the fuck I was doing. I got caught up doing something else and didn't finish it. But I'll finish it probably tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, what a banger.
Yeah, it's seriously so good.
So far so
Now
good.
you,
Yeah.
now you need to watch the rest of those so we can talk about those.
Yeah. True. Um. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been doing that. I've been working on a super secret project with Meg. Been doing a lot of that. That don't really have a whole lot of details for just yet because we know what we're gonna
It's
do with
super
it,
secret.
and it's also super secret. Yeah, we don't really want to talk about it with too many people just yet. As a matter of fact, I don't think we've talked about it with anybody. Um, just until we get some more solid details, because we want to make sure when we end up doing whatever it is we're doing, there's something for people to actually experience. in
Yeah,
the one way,
you don't
shape, or
want to
form.
drop any. You don't want to drop any hints or info, and then something comes up and it gets pushed back. And yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Or I don't want to like say we're doing this, this, and this, and then by the time we reveal what it is, it's entirely different because
yeah.
it's in those stages, you know, like it's in the point where we have a very solid idea of what it is and what we want to do with it, but the time it's going to take and the time we don't have is causing it to kind of go a little bit slower than we want it to. So could very well
Take
change before
notes,
we get
video
done.
game industry
Yeah, exactly.
assholes.
Figure it out, guys, because I'd rather get a late game than unfinished one when you launch it. You know, so
Yeah, it
figure it out,
requires
guys.
a patch bigger than the goddamn game.
Yeah, that too. Call of Duty.
Any game ever.
Yeah, most games. Yeah, especially recent AAA titles. For fuck's sake, dude. Good God, man,
Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare.
it's dumb. Speaking of nightmares, that segues into today's video. Derek, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because let's face it, Freddy Krueger is the man.
Yes, he is.
Need I say more?
Yes, he is. I've failed. I am not wearing my Freddy shirt. I have my Bullet for my Valentine shirt on, but it is covered in blood. So
I was worried I couldn't find it. Like, he, before we even get started, okay, one thing that kind of pisses me off, and this isn't about Nightmare on Elm Street, because Nightmare on Elm Street is my favorite horror franchise. Freddy's number one. But the shirts, man, the shirts for the Nightmare on Elm Street, like the ones that you could find, it doesn't matter. Hot Topic, Spirit Halloween, even Walmart. The Freddy shirts all suck, or they're all stupid. They're
yeah,
dumb as shit. The Michael Myers shirts are legitimately way better. That's why I have like 9 Michael Myers shirts and I only have one Freddy shirt.
yeah.
It makes no sense to me whatsoever.
And you'd think with like such a just in your face villain, it'd be pretty easy to make merch for. You know?
Yeah, you figure they could pull off a shirt, but they can't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
Like
crazy.
I got lucky when we went. It was a flashback weekend in 2017, and I found this shirt. As this is the VHS cover of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which I always loved as a kid. You know, going into the VHS store and seeing that one, I was like, yeah, Freddy looks fucking scary in that one.
Yeah.
So seeing somebody actually put it on a shirt, I was like, I fucking love it. And I had to have that shirt. And on top of it, you know, we met Robert Englund and got pictures with Robert Englund that weekend as well. So, yeah, but step the shirts up. Come on.
Yeah. Get the shirt
Damn.
game figured out, guys. Come on now.
Total BS. Or if somebody's got a cool site for shirts in regards to Nightmare on Elm Street, drop it in the comments because I definitely want to check it out. I got to up my Freddy shirts for sure.
Other
compared to my
than
Michael Myers shirts.
other than like the Ice Nine Kills ones, which are almost always dope, I don't really know. I don't know of anywhere. Have you tried cavity colors or whatever?
If I'm being 100% honest, I haven't even really looked online.
Let's
Don't
see.
know specifically where to start. I'm just talking about like for instance, yesterday we were in Peoria, and yeah, went into Spencer's and Hot Topic, and all the shirts were just lame as fuck for Freddy, I should say.
Let's see what Cavity Colors has, because they usually have some pretty cool horror movie stuff.
Yeah, but
Nightmare on Elm Street.
I got my one, and I guess you know that's all I technically need. And I've got other things too.
So there are 7 results. Out of the 7, there's one that is Ghostface. not Nightmare on Elm Street at all, but the name is titled Nightmare City. Ghostface Nightmare City t-shirt. So lose. And
Okay.
out of
I don't
the
even care about the other 6 then. They just lost all their credibility with me.
well, the other 6 are just 2 different designs on 3 different shirts each.
Yep. So,
Why do we
Yeah.
have such a hard time with Nightmare on Elm Street merch, guys?
Yeah.
Like,
Seriously,
are the
just talk about it.
designs even okay? Not really. Um,
Honestly, what I would love is a Nightmare on Elm Street 4, like just poster shirt.
this
That'd be
one
awesome. I'd be down with
says
that.
if Nancy doesn't wake up screaming, she won't wake up at all.
Yeah, that's the tagline from the first one.
And it's got
And definitely not the. Oh, he's got the. Yeah, that's one. That looks like when he's chasing her and she's in the Bisquick stairs. And or no, when Tina rips his face off. Yeah, that's what the Freddy looks like. But I want. Uh, I don't know. I'm just super picky about it because I will see a shirt that will clearly be, let's say, in reference to Nightmare on Elm Street 1. But then it's got Freddy from Freddy versus Jason in it,
oh
which
yeah.
I've already been very open about the fact I don't really like the way Freddy looks.
There's this one with Dream Warriors. This is the other design.
Yeah, you see, and I don't want long sleeve.
Well,
I don't want a long sleeve.
this one's on t-shirt as well.
Okay, well that'd be better. But yeah, just an absolute. Okay, that one's better. I don't know. I guess I'm just not digging the like what Japanese on
Yeah,
there.
it's got some Japanese on it. Says Dream Warriors. It's got the skeleton. Um, just says Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 Dream Warriors.
Don't lame.
Yeah.
Don't lame.
Very weird. Very weird. Especially Cavity Colors because they usually have some pretty damn cool horror shirts. So that's kind of upsetting.
I will never shop there because they think Ghostface is Freddy.
Yeah. No. Well,
They could have told me my child is a moron, and I would have said, "All right, you got a cool shirt, I'll buy it."
I don't
They
even know
insult-
what I don't even know what Nightmare City is referring to. Because that's
Not
that's
only-
not a Ghostface thing.
Not only have they insulted 37-year-old Derek, but they also insulted 3-year-old Derek with that shit. I've been insulted to my core, and I will not give them my business ever.
I
Even
mean,
if there's a fire.
they got a pretty dope ass Army of Darkness shirt on here though on the front.
Nope. Won't even entertain it.
I'm fucking with that.
Won't even entertain it.
Nah, that looks dope as fuck.
They think Ghostface is Freddy.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Godzilla.
Oh no. They say he's got to go. But alright. Speaking of
Oh,
that,
wait. Wait. Freddy's Halloween Nightmare. Freddy's Coming for You. These are on the front page. But they're not under Nightmare on Elm Street.
weird.
There's that one, and then this this black and white one here is actually kind of dope.
I looked FVJ is that first one. Yeah, you see, once again, that is not Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street 1.
That one glows in the dark.
That's cool. I mean, don't get me wrong about that, but it's all inaccurate. Because one thing I
So
don't think a lot of people fully understand is
fucking
Freddy from Nightmare on Elm Street 1, he does not have stripes on the sleeves. Not wearing a trench coat, nothing. It's solid red, and then it's just striped across the chest and torso. So get your shit straight.
Jason
Okay.
gets an upgrade.
Yeah, well, we need to buy that for Toby.
Anyway,
Merry Christmas. You love it so much. But anyways, yeah, released November 9th, limited, and wide release November 16th, 1984. Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street was dropped on us.
yes it was.
This was a game changer. I honestly couldn't even tell you which Nightmare on Elm Street movie I saw first, because by the time I already remember it, my sister would go to the video store, and we basically always had Freddy's Dead rented. Just not because it's a good movie, it's not, but just because of the ending. where the credits are rolling and it's showing scenes from each movie in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. And she'd be like, all right, pick one. Which one do you want to go rent now? And I'd be like, that one. So
Hmm.
I this was just I think a game changer for horror, if I'm being 100% honest.
Oh yeah.
And it's amazing that so many studios legitimately passed on this because like even Sean Cunningham was like, it's a dream. Like people aren't going to be afraid of that. And it's like, thank God Bob Shea was the only person that understood. Everybody has dreams.
Yeah.
Everybody has nightmares. This is a universal thing. It's not, oh man, we're going to go to this camp and going to try to smoke some weed and have some sex. No, that's a very small percentage of the population.
Very,
Whereas,
very niche.
yeah, whereas everybody sleeps, everybody dreams. So
Yeah.
it just seriously a great concept. You go ahead and talk for a little bit.
Well,
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that talk about a lot of movies changing the dynamic of what it means to be this genre of movie, you know, and a lot of people also throw around the term uh, breaking boundaries, you know, and going past lines that were not crossed before. And I think that a lot of the time those comments are misplaced, you know. But with Nightmare on Elm Street, I think that's fully valid. I think that is a fully valid statement because, like, if you go to the '80s, it was a weird time, okay, especially with movies, you know.
awesome
But
time.
as far as I can tell, and I didn't grow up in the '80s, obviously, but I grew up in a time that I had access to a ton of '80s movies, of course.
I was alive for 2 of the years.
I wasn't alive for any of the years, but you can definitely go back and see where they did Nightmare on Elm Street after taking a ton of influence from fantasy, and I've brought this up before, and this is where I like horror the most, is when they incorporate a ton of fantasy into it, just because it's so fucking creative. And I mean, yeah, nowadays it's a little bit overdone because everybody does it now, you know. But at the time, I mean, you can go back and look through the catalog. I don't remember seeing a ton of movies from this time period doing what they did with, if you die in your dreams, you die in real life kind of shit, you know?
Yeah,
And that's a terrifying concept. That's an
yeah.
absolutely terrifying concept. As far as which one I seen first, it was definitely this one. But that's because when I was being shown these movies, this would have been back in 2015, 2014 or something like that, when I was living with my cousin Wiley. He's a big 80s movie buff, especially horror movies. And he showed
Oh
me
man.
the Child's Play. I think he showed me Child's Play and Child's Play 2 or something like that. And I was like, they're all right. You know, not my cup of tea. And he's like, okay, well, I'm going to show you Nightmare on Elm Street instead. We just, like, cut off the Child's Play movies, and we switched over to Nightmare on Elm Street. And for, like, 5 days in a row, we watched a Nightmare on Elm Street movie when we were, like, settling down and shit. And I was like, yeah, these are much better. These are much better.
Oh yeah.
And I loved the first one, like the first watch through. Second one, like I told you before, for some reason leaves my memory every single time I try to think about it. And of course, Dream Warriors is a fucking goat. So
Dream Warriors is just one of the best sequels of all time.
yeah,
Like,
oh absolutely.
ever. Undisputed.
But yeah, no, these movies are good, man. They're great movies, and I think that I was looking up what the budgets for this movie or this franchise was, the Halloween franchise and the Friday the 13th franchise, and honestly, it's kind of an unfair comparison because Nightmare got a ton more of a budget than the first two Halloween movies,
Oh yeah.
and Friday the 13th combined, I think.
Well, what
So
was it? Yeah, like God, Friday the 13th was like, I think it was half a million
mhm.
budget, and then I'm pretty sure Halloween was only like $350,000,
Yeah,
whereas the budget for Nightmare on Elm Street I think was like 2 million.
yeah. So it's not even a comparison, really. And that's something you can argue, like, oh, they had more of a budget, so they were better or able to make a better movie. And I think you can argue that to a degree, but still, conceptually speaking, it's still the most interesting by a mile, you know.
Do people even argue that? Like, I mean, I've never heard anybody argue that, and if they do, yeah, it comes like what you were just saying. It comes down to concept. Like, don't get me wrong, I like, well, at least like all three franchises, all three of the big three, but Nightmare on Elm Street just has the best concept out of the three.
Yeah.
Like, not even close.
It does
So,
something different, and it does it very well. So
yes,
there's
it
that.
does. God.
But yeah. So about this first movie, I think I've seen this. I think I've seen this one the most out of all of them. Because at the very least, I try to watch the first one on Halloween or close to Halloween every year. But I don't always go to the next few. Last year was the first time in a couple years that I had watched the first three, and I'm pretty sure I watched all three of the first three on Halloween. And yeah, it would have been the first time in a while that I watched the trilogy together.
Yeah.
But this one for sure I watched the most, so it's the most fresh in my head.
Last time I did like a solid like mini marathon, like what you're talking about, was I believe February 24th, 25th of 2020, and that was the day we brought Jacob home.
Nice. Hell yeah.
So, like I was telling you the other day, it wasn't for him, it was for you.
Nice.
But yeah. Oh, also I should say hi.
Nice. I don't have any one of
Yeah.
those. I need to get
Yeah,
me one though.
no. This is old and broken down. This thing is 18 years old.
Nice.
I got it in 2006, and man, it is falling apart, and it has been through hell. But I figured I would try to wear it throughout the course of this. But running a mouse with a Nightmare on Elm Street glove is actually kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thunk it, right?
Freddie was not on Twitter very much.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Um, so I guess let's go ahead. Let's move into kills because this movie has two very, very, very unique, very amazing kills. Now, Rod's, it's just, I mean, it's a hanging. That's like, so nothing like groundbreaking with that. But Tina and Glenn, on the other hand, their kills, nightmare inducing, and just all around horrifying.
Absolutely.
And one thing that's awesome is they actually used the same room for both of them because they built a rotating room.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's how she was able to climb up the to the ceiling, and then they would just drop. And then with the bed for Johnny Depp, yeah, they basically turned that thing and then just dumped all the blood through there. I remember the Glenn kill when I was a kid actually being kind of semi-traumatizing. Just because, you're in your bed, and then
Right.
boom, all of a sudden you were pulled down through it, and then God only knows what happens to you. And then just a blood, like it's not even a fountain, it's like a blood waterfall
Yeah.
comes shooting out of your fucking bed.
And I
I've
I know we've talked about off-screen kills, and I think this technically counts as an off-screen kill because you don't see it happen, but there's so much blood that you don't need to see it happen. Like
Yeah.
definitively that he is dead.
Yeah,
There's no coming
no ifs,
back
ands,
from
or
that.
buts. There was actually a deleted scene where like Johnny Depp, I guess his body rises up out of the bed and then falls over. I'm glad that they did not put that in the movie.
Same.
Just leaving that out. It's like, okay, one, where did he go? Like did this motherfucker just get ran through a ninja blender
Hell yeah.
and is completely fucking liquefied? It leaves more to the mind, which is a scarier thing than actually seeing the shit. Like we'll
Right.
say 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I would
Um,
argue that like an off-screen death like this, where you still see remnants of what it was or who they were, is much better than like what they did in Terrifier 3, for example.
Yeah,
Um,
you were going in the exact same direction as me.
yeah, it's just a matter of like that is not okay. This is okay because it just there's no coming back from it, you know. Whereas in Terrifier, it's just a matter of like, okay, that could be so and so, but it also couldn't
I
be.
hope it's not.
Better not be. Better
Still,
not be.
like, yeah, I was gonna say, I think, I don't think Damien like was expecting as much backlash from that as he's got, but he's literally got a perfect way out of it,
Yeah,
and we've already talked about that.
sure have.
Was it?
Sure
And
have.
yeah, in our Terrifier 3 video.
Yeah, go check that out.
So hopefully he backtracks on that because that I wouldn't even give him shit. I would applaud him for it because yeah, we gotta yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm trying to think of what else we really need to talk about. I guess one of the last things I would definitely want to mention is Nancy,
Mm.
played by Heather Langenkamp. Just seriously, one of the best, actually, not one of the best, in my opinion, the best final girl
Oh yeah,
out of just any horror movie ever. Uh,
facts.
so there is one where I'm thinking, like, she puts up way more of a fight than Nancy does. But I'm still going to say Nancy because she was more of an OG than Erin from Your Next. Because Erin from Your Next is one of the best final girls of all time.
Nice.
But no, Nancy, especially at this point in time, because you got to think, we were dealing with idiots, like idiot chicks, like not being a dick. But anybody that tries to tell me that Jamie Lee Curtis was a better final girl in Halloween has clearly does not know what they are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just run, hide, oh, get lucky, run, hide, get lucky. Like that's all it was. Whereas Nancy's like, okay, this fucker has obviously put in some thought to how he kills people. He wields a razor glove. um, I've got to step my game up.
Yep.
And she fucking does. With a fucking sledgehammer trap, explosions,
Straight up
like
Home
setting.
Alone style.
Yeah, like Home Alone before Home Alone.
Mm-hmm.
And God, I love it every single time. Just especially like I watched this so much back in the day on VHS because I remember the VHS that I had. There was kind of a blooper in it. So after Freddy takes the sledgehammer to the chest, it's like anybody would, and he falls over the railing. You could see the mattress pop up that he lands on. And so by the time I got it on DVD and of course Blu-ray, each time I'm looking for it, expecting it because it's just been burned into my brain. But no,
Mm.
they kind of like just shrink the frame
Cropped
enough
in
so that
post,
you
yeah.
don't see that fucking that mattress pop up.
That's awesome.
But no, Nancy's just awesome, and partially that's not just Wes Craven's writing. That's Heather Langenkamp bringing her to life, and um, yeah, I would legitimately consider naming a daughter Nancy just because of the strength that Heather Langenkamp demonstrates. Just because, yeah, you want a good strong name, and Nancy fucks up Freddy. The end.
That's facts. Yeah, it's yeah, absolutely. It's a testament to her character for sure. I also going back to your Tina comment as well. Not only the kill of Tina, but also the school scene when Nancy falls asleep in school
Oh
was
yeah.
fucking eerie, dude. Absolutely eerie, and it sends chills down my spine every time I see it. I think it's one of those like uncanny things where it's just you see these things happening in a setting that like in your head is supposed to be an innocent place, you know, or a place where there's teachers around and people around and so forth. But
Also, keep in mind this was the '80s, not today.
yeah. Well, that and
Okay.
also like
Oh, I was
under
telling the audience that. I know, like, I just schools used to be safe. Okay.
well, yeah, and also just under any normal circumstance too. Like you would never see an invisible person dragging a bloody body bag through the hallways, you know, like
So
it's just
awesome.
creepy, dude. And then the janitor dressed up like Freddy. Did they do that? Or no, it was the the
I would
hall
say
monitor
don't
chick or
you
whatever.
start pulling a color cavities on me.
Oh
I
yeah,
swear to
yeah,
God.
that was
I
Scream.
swear to God.
Well, the hall monitor is who I was thinking of. The hall monitor. It has the
Yeah.
fucking glove on at the end and shit, and but yeah, it's just a creepy fucking scene all around. Just a
Oh
creepy
yeah.
scene.
It just stays with you.
Oh yeah.
And then the Bisquick stairs,
Hmm.
like, uh, yeah.
Good
I
stuff.
love this movie. Like, obviously, people should hopefully get that with my little Freddy collage I have in the background
This
right
little
there.
shrine.
Yeah, it's growing
Nice.
slowly but surely.
Hell yeah.
Um, but yeah, I guess any final thought on one
Nope.
or
That's
okay.
good.
Yeah, I was gonna say basically we love this movie. It is the best movie of all time. Okay. All right.
Hang on now.
Moving. I said what I said. Moving on. Released November 1st, 1985. We have got A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. This one is an odd one. Not even going to sugarcoat that. Being older now, I guess I should talk about it when I was a kid first. When I was a kid, I didn't really get it. Like, because they talk about this in Never Sleep Again. There is kind of a homoerotic vibe to this movie, and as a kid, I didn't pick up on it. It's like, okay, the pool massacre scene was really cool, but even as a kid, I still did not I was like, how's Freddy in the real world? Like, Freddy's in dreams, right? This movie is kind of an odd one. And one thing that I will say that they said during Never Sleep Again, a lot of people say, "Oh, this is where the franchise took a turn." It's like, no, this was the second one. Like, it's not like we were 5 movies in and then we took a drastic left or something like that.
Right.
They ultimately, New Line was just trying to capitalize on how much money the first Nightmare on Elm Street made them, and rush this one out. That's why, like, not a lot of people really talk about this because they'll say for 4 and 5 there wasn't enough time in between. Um, there was about the exact same amount of time between 1 and 2 as well. And the one that followed is an inferior product. Which, oh, spoiler alert when we talk about Nightmare on Elm Street 5. But I guess this one was interesting for the fact that instead of a chick, it was a dude. Mark Patton played Jesse. Um, and yeah, definitely, like I had already said, when I was a kid, I did not really appreciate this movie. Now that I'm older, I do. Especially knowing all the stuff that went on behind the scenes, which obviously, if people have not seen Never Sleep Again, definitely watch it. You can find it on YouTube, trust me. And then there is a documentary just based off of Mark Patton that's called Scream Queen. And it was an absolutely amazing document. Loved it. You feel bad for him because this was going to be his big break into Hollywood, and then it ended up kind of being the nail in the coffin of his career.
Huh.
Man, you know what? I just now realized we talked about night one, and we did not once mention Robert Englund.
Oof. We sure as hell didn't.
If people can't pick up on it, then I don't know. Because, I mean, Robert Englund is the reason these movies are successful. Like,
Yeah. He is the face of these movies, literally.
yeah, even the bad ones are somewhat entertain or enjoyable because of Robert Englund. But every Tom, Dick, and Harry has already talked about Robert Englund and gushed over Robert Englund. So I guess I don't necessarily feel the need to do that, even though I do gush over him. I mean, for the love of God, I've got all kinds of statues of him down there. I've got a picture of him downstairs with me and my wife. And I've got a signed picture of him as Freddy down in my living. Yeah. So, I'm curious your thought on Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
I don't remember a lot about it, even though I know I've seen it a couple times, but this is like for some reason the movie that always leaves my brain. And the same thing happened with me in 4, but in fairness, I'd only seen 4 once before this watch through, so I don't know what it is about 2 that doesn't make me remember it, but there's just something about it that I find so completely forgettable, and I don't know why. I guess I need to go back and rewatch it again, but the deaths in particular, I feel like were pretty lackluster in comparison to a lot of the other ones, and I think that's probably why, because in 1, obviously, we've got some, of course, we got Glenn's death and a absolutely phenomenal final girl to follow through the whole movie. But this one, Nancy was not in it, correct? She was not in this one. And
Nope, it takes place 5 years after the original.
and she comes back though in 3.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So that's probably one reason I didn't care for the dude that it's following in 2. And then 2 also again just has some pretty lackluster deaths. I remember the pool party pretty distinctly, but I feel like that's like a bulk of the deaths in the whole movie, and they're all at the same time.
Yeah,
Right?
there's Coach Schneider, which that was kind of more build up towards the kill, like just because he's getting like whipped with towels, balls are getting thrown at him, and then yeah, it's just slat or oh, I guess I should do it's just slashes down the back. That's literally it.
Yeah.
And then even the pool party, so like they, I feel like they went quantity over quality,
Yeah.
and I am one person that complains that it's like, oh man, Freddy doesn't have the body count that like Jason and Michael have. But at the same time, I can tell you more of Freddy's kills than I can Michael and Jason's kills because it's like, oh, I stab you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that.
That's
That's
fair.
basically all they are. And this one kind of falls into that because yeah, the kills are very lackluster.
Yeah.
Even Grady's freaking death, like it's just
I
if
remember
anything,
the face coming out of what's his
the
face
tra-
chest.
the transformation sequence is
That was
probably
pretty cool.
yeah. There, this movie does have a couple, I would say, iconic for the series shot like scenes in it, like the opening with the bus. That one is really
Oh yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then definitely, of course, the transformation. Like 100%. That shit was fucking rad, and it still holds up to this day too.
Yeah, I remember that part. I remember the pool scene. I don't know. It wasn't it for me. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same level of detail that I like from Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Like
Yeah.
some of the most iconic kills in any horror movie ever is in 3. Um, and I think same could probably be said about 1. But there also wasn't any of those like super spine chilling moments either, like the school scene in 1. It was
Yeah.
absolutely fucking terrifying. Which there's a couple scenes I'm sure in this one that were like, oh, but
Yeah, no, they're real.
nothing's gonna
Well,
make me wet the bed, Like, come on now.
yeah, I would still say that even like what you said, there were some legitimately terrifying moments from the first Nightmare on Elm Street. But like, for instance, let's compare endings. Like Nancy in the car, trapped with her friends, and then mom gets pulled through a window. Even though it looks goofy as shit, people left the theater like, oh god, like that was something. Whereas this, it's like, oh, Freddy just burst, like his glove just burst through her, and then the bus drives into the desert again. Like it didn't. It tried to hit those levels that the first one hit, but it does fall short.
Yeah.
Now, one thing if it sounds like I'm shitting on it, this one is one of the weaker entries of the franchise, but I still love all but one entry into this franchise. And we will talk about that one on the next episode that we record. Very, very in depth. But so don't think I'm just shitting on it. I do appreciate this movie, and for the love of God, I'm literally wearing a Nightmare on Elm Street 2 shirt right now. It is the only Freddy shirt I have.
Nice.
So like, yeah, this this movie, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't really have a whole lot to say about two. Two is kind of lackluster.
Yeah. Again, if I'm gonna watch the trilogy, I will watch this one with the other two, of course. It's not to the point where I'll skip it because it's terrible.
Yeah,
It's just one of those. It's like, like if I did end up skipping it, I probably wouldn't notice. But
yeah. I mean,
it is
on
pretty detached,
multiple.
I guess, from the other two. But still,
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, you can literally go one to three, and you're not missing anything. Because like Jesse and oh gosh, now I'm forgetting. Man, I'm forgetting Kim Myers' character. Ah, man, I
see,
literally just. I don't know why I'm blanking on that.
I do it every time.
Lisa, that's
Oh
what it
yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
Just came to me.
I'm pretty bad with
Um,
names in movies anyway, unless I've seen it a million times. But this one in particular is pretty rough.
yeah, like they're never mentioned again. Like
Yeah,
even when they made three, they knew it was like okay, two kind of landed us in some not good water. So it's probably best just to distance ourselves from it and let it exist in its own little corner, but we'll carry on with this. I guess one thing I should say that is really good about two is that this is when Kevin Yeager took over the makeup for Freddy. And say what you want, I think Freddy in two look like oh my god is just phenomenal, and he perfects it by the time we get to three. So at least Freddy was looking fucking fly and just scary himself,
right.
but the movie unfortunately didn't have those moments to go along with that, like the first one did.
Agreed. And
Okay,
the next one, of course.
yeah, released February 27th, 1987. We have got A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. And I can't remember the exact specific. Well, I'm going to say this wrong. I know I'm going to. But this was like the first, not indie, but small fucking like company movie to be number one in the box office. This was the first to
Nice.
do it. Yeah, so that is awesome. What else do we got? I mean, yeah, we got Robert Englund still as
Of course.
Freddy. We're gonna have Robert Englund for all of them except
We don't
and
need to talk
then
about that.
yet. Heather Langenkamp comes back as Nancy.
Yes, she does.
So we've got our totally bomb ass freaking final girl who is not so much of a final girl in this one,
Unfortunately.
unfortunately.
Um,
Jinx, you bastard. But no, one another person that was in this movie that is definitely relatively super famous, I would say, or at least used to be at one point in time. Patricia Arquette as Kristen Parker.
hmm,
This was her first movie, and yeah, this one takes everything that it pushes the boundaries, if you will, of Freddy's dark humor and the fantasy aspects that were introduced into the first movie.
right.
Oh, also, I forgot Lawrence Fishburne's in this movie too. He's also super famous and still is. Um, but yeah, I guess I'll let you fire off some stuff first.
Yeah. When my cousin Wiley showed me this one, I think this is the one where I finally was just like, yeah, this is fucking cool. I mean, I was already saying that in the first one, but I think this is the one that solidified that for me. This is the one. Dream Warriors is the one that like made me realize that I definitely like this way more than I like Child's Play, way more than I like Friday the 13th, way more than I like Halloween. And I guess at that point I'd only seen Friday the 13th. Actually, I don't know. I don't actually think I saw Friday the 13th that soon. I'm pretty sure it was not until Toby showed me Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that was the first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
At least that's what you said before. Was Toby showed you
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Friday the 13th was with Toby. My bad. So in this case, Wiley had shown me a few franchises but it wasn't Friday the 13th. It was Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street and Child's Play. There might have been a couple more, but those are the big ones I remember sticking out to me. And yeah, Dream Warriors was the one that was like, this is fucked. This is fucked up, and I love every second of it. Especially of course, the famous marionette scene, fucking
Oh God, yeah.
puppet.
Bradley Gregg.
Oof. Well, who's his name? Philip.
Yeah,
Phil.
Philip.
Philip. Yeah, dude. Just the thought of that makes me want to throw up. Like I don't like getting shots. Okay, let alone getting my fucking veins ripped out of my arms and used as a goddamn puppet. Ugh. Ugh. And then basically just forced to walk off the fucking ledge of a building. So like, Jesus Christ, dude. Insane.
Yeah, the kills in this one are top notch. I bet
Leaps and
I will,
bounds.
yeah,
Past
I will go ahead and say easily best kills in the entire franchise in this one. Because yeah, we've got Philip's marionette kill. God, what was it? Was
The
it
TV
Jennifer?
smashed.
Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah, Jennifer. Welcome to prime time, bitch. Which
Prime time. That's what's on the back of my Freddy shirt. My one and only Freddy shirt.
well, and the thing that's still awesome, and part of me doesn't want to believe it, but Robert Englund said it, or like not even Robert Englund, but just somebody else said it. Welcome to Primetime, bitch was completely improv. Like that wasn't scripted or anything. So it's like, damn, that
Robert really understood Freddy as a character. He really understood him.
kind of horrifying to think about. Yeah.
He
But,
understood the assignment very well.
But God, who else is there? Taryn with the hypodermic needles
Oh
that
yeah.
Freddy has in the sucking mouth.
Oh.
Like, let's get high. Oh, so awesome. Who else we got? We got Will. I would say Will's kill is probably one of the weaker ones, but because I know a lot of my friends back. So I would take these movies. We'd go to sleepovers. I was always the guy that brought the scary movies that nobody's parents would let them have.
That's fair.
And my friends would just legit rip on that kill. I'm the wizard master. I was like, no, like it's their powers, man. Like he chose a dumb power, but still, it's his. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that one's kind of weak.
I thought Nancy's also was pretty weak.
I give that a pass just because like Freddy roped her in and got her right. Like it didn't need to be over the top or amazing because he just lured her like hunter and prey.
That's
and
fair.
got her right where he fucking wanted her. God, I mean even some of the stuff like
That guy that got impaled as well.
Nancy's dad.
Yeah. Oh, holy shit, that was her dad. That's right.
Yeah, because they were big fans of Ray. I might be getting this wrong. Ray Harryhausen from like Jason and the Argonauts with the stop motion.
Oh yeah.
And the skeleton.
Right.
The skeleton Freddy was freaking cool.
Yes, it was.
And then being in the graveyard, the junkyard.
Junkyard. Yeah.
Yeah, just and then just fucking a skeleton yeeting a man, God only feet.
Oh yeah.
Into the back of a caddy. Oh,
I'm a sucker
God.
for stop motion in general, but especially stop motion skeletons, dude. Army of Darkness is fucking just God, it is a wet dream. I love stop motion skeletons. I don't know, it just hits my fucking nostalgia box way too hard, and I love every second of it.
Well, that's probably another reason why you like the frickin' the marionette kill as much because the clay Freddy was all stop motion as well.
Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. Dude, I don't know. I love stop motion in general, but it's just cool, man. It's just cool to see.
I don't know. Trying to think what else we got here that we definitely need to talk about. Dawkins. I mean, fuck.
Yeah. True.
God. That song is realistically, if I did a top 10 favorite songs list, Dream Warriors would be on it. Like,
Yeah.
There's a reason that I
It is
still
a banger.
can't like. I can never recall which album I bought first. Either Dawkins' Back for the Attack, just because of Nightmare on Elm Street 3, or the Footloose soundtrack, because I don't know. I was weird when I was a kid and obsessed with 80s. But yeah. Dokken, just oh fuck, that song's so awesome. Shout out to Dallas for that one, because when I think of Dokken and Dream Warriors, I of course go to this movie first, and then I remember me and Dallas climbing the mountain in Destiny: Rise of Iron, and it took us 45 minutes, and we had Dream Warriors on 45 minutes getting to the top of this fucking mountain.
Yeah.
Uh, well, oh, I guess I will mention Chuck Russell, the director. He also directed The Mask with Jim Carrey and Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And the one thing that everybody said throughout the entire documentary was that, and I'll just put it bluntly, Chuck Russell is an asshole and sucks. But at least, like, it's worth it in my opinion, because we got literally one of the best, if not the best, sequels. Not just horror sequels, just sequel in general.
Facts.
Like 100%, this gets put in the category with like Aliens and T2, in my opinion, which are two of the best sequels of all time.
Agreed. Agreed.
This does what every good sequel needs to do, and what Nightmare on Elm Street 2 did not. It it expands the story, widens the horizon, and brings back characters that we already know, and introduces us to new ones that are just as important as Nancy or Donald from fucking Nightmare on Elm Street 1. Which I believe Jeff Katz said that in the documentary. And when he said that, I was like, this motherfucker gets it. He knows what it is.
Oh yeah. It would have been cool though to see Nancy continue on a little bit longer. At least for another movie or two, it would have been cool to see. It sucks that she only was in two of them, and she's just such a damn good final girl, you know. But
Was she only in two of them?
I don't know. I can't remember the others.
She wasn't.
Oh, she was in more of them?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Damn. Oh,
I don't know why. Like,
I don't remember any of that.
The way I got my camera set up, it's like cutting off half of my box. So every time I go over, like, I'm like, I just keep going.
I can't read any of that anyway.
Okay.
Okay, well, I guess I'll find out. I'll be like, oh, I'll be the fucking Leonardo DiCaprio meme, though. Where he's pointing at the fucking thing.
You'll just be like, that fucking idiot. He's not even, like, it would make more. Yeah. And what I'm doing, because I just keep going over and not out of frame.
Trying his best.
No, while I do, I don't, it's not, I don't disagree with you. Like, I obviously love the character of Nancy. I do understand that, you know, by the time you have, I don't know, a certain heroine fighting the same villain over and over and over again, not referencing any other franchise that just put out a movie 2 years ago or anything like that, it kind of loses its suspense. And by killing Nancy in this movie, that was extremely important in the sense that it's like, if Nancy can die, fucking anybody can die.
I agree with her being killed. I just wish that, I think it's mainly because she wasn't in 2, you know? Like, if she was in 2 as well and she was there for the trilogy and she got killed in the third one, I feel like that would have been like, oh, okay, what the fuck's going to happen next then? Because Nancy's dead, you know? Where they've already taken us out of that realm with 2, because she already wasn't in 2, so we already know kind of what it looks like without Nancy, you know, as viewers of the the trilogy as a whole. So after 3, it still has that same like effect, I suppose, but it's not, in my opinion, as strong as it would have been if she was in all 3 of them, and we got to like build up our relationship with her as the 3 go on, and then she's gone. Oh shit, and we know there's more movies, of course, so like, how are they gonna pull this off, you know? Whereas they kind of just cut her loose right after the first movie, and I mean, I don't know the reason for her coming back, other than maybe they just thought that there was more that she had to do, which I'm glad they did bring her back, but like,
Yeah.
Surely they didn't intend for her to come back originally. They kind of just like, no, we're gonna go with this story and two, and then maybe I don't know, maybe you know more about it than I do, but maybe they were like, oh fuck, nobody liked that. People want
I
Nancy
will
back.
I will say that is 100% Wes Craven. Because, I mean, he did create the Nancy character. Heather brought Nancy to life.
Yeah.
And with Nightmare on Elm Street 2, because Bob Shea and Wes Craven didn't have, like, the world's best relationship, I think they kind of just went with somebody else for 2. But then Sarah Risher, she would go back to Wes Craven and be like, "Hey, you want to write this?" And this is the one because he didn't write anything for like 4, 5, or 6. 7's obviously Wes Craven's new nightmare for a good reason. He did write a script, him and I believe it was Bruce Wagner, for Nightmare on Elm Street 3 with bringing Nancy back. But they ultimately felt that the script was still lacking. They liked the story; it just needed some oomph to it. And then that's when, God, is it Frank Darabont from the first and only good season of The Walking Dead, and Chuck Russell came in.
Damn.
Oh yeah, shots fucking fired on that.
Jesus, the first and only.
I said what I said. I meant what I said.
Oh, we might need to do a Walking Dead episode, buddy. Oh my god.
Good luck with that. I gave up after season 4 because it's dog shit.
Jesus. Yikes.
Yeah. But they came in and they basically took Wes Craven's story, changed it a little bit, added some stuff that the studio was wanting to it, and then that's how we got the Nightmare on Elm Street 3 that we know and love. So it was Wes Craven bringing Nancy back because he was in the writer's chair, at least to start.
Interesting. Well, either way, I feel like it would have been more impactful. Her death would have been more impactful had it just been her with all 3 movies. But she was only in 2 of those. So,
What's she?
Well, out of the 4 that I've seen up to this point, more than once now.
You need to watch more.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. Working on it. I'm gonna try to hit 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Maybe not all of them, but I'll probably try to at least 5 and 6 tomorrow if I can.
Don't you mean 5, 6, 7, and remake?
Oh, is that the 8th one?
That's the well. I mean, technically, Freddy vs. Jason would be the 8th one, but we already did
that one. Yeah. Fuck. God damn it. I'll try. I'll give it a go. I suppose. Fuck me, dude. Fine.
I'm serious. I want you to take notes as you're watching the remake too. I want to have some fun.
Oh, God, it's gonna be a Halloween Ends all over again.
Because I'm
gonna rip the shit out of it, dude.
So, spoiler alert, guys, already, if you haven't picked up, we love the original, and it's probably, the remake, and it is probably our favorite of this entire franchise.
Yep. Favorite 20 minutes of my life.
I made it through without laughing. I'm proud of myself.
Favorite 20 minutes of my life. I'll never get back.
Okay. So, I get final thoughts on 3. Love it. Absolutely fucking love it. Like,
yep.
God, so
agreed.
Good.
Agreed. I think the only other kill that I distinctly remember, probably more so than any of the kills in 3, or maybe not more so, but up there with 3, is one that we're going to talk about in this next one.
I think I know which one you're talking about,
and it's the only one that for some reason just got burned into my fucking head from 4. And when I seen it again, I was like, huh, yeah, that happened. Okay. Yep, that's a thing that happened.
All right. Well, let's just get into it then.
Let's talk
Released
about it.
August 19th, 1988. We have got Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Directed by Rennie Harlan, who has a very we'll just say spotty record with movies. I have hope for Strangers Chapter 2, but not the most hope in the world. But he has directed like Die Hard 2 and Cliffhanger, just so you kind of get an idea. This was his launching point into like mainstream like Hollywood stuff.
Huh.
Firstly, right out of the gate with this one, disappointed that Patricia Arquette was not back for this one because recasting Kristen with Tuesday Night, it shoots the movie in the foot. It really does. No matter what people want to say about it, it's not the same when they do a recasting. I mean, Jesus Christ, how long did we talk about the recasting of Dumbledore in our Harry Potter?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Like,
I feel like that one's a little bit more divisive just because there's like I personally know a lot of people that do like the newer Dumbledore, but I also know a ton of people that fucking can't stand him and prefer the old one and so forth. Which I guess I don't know what happened with Kristen, the actress that played Kristen. I don't know if she passed away or what.
no, no, dude, Patricia Arquette's still alive. She's awesome.
But okay, that's
No,
what I thought. But like that
just
obviously
money.
couldn't happen with Dumbledore, unfortunately. But
Yeah. No, and like I
so
said
yeah,
during the Harry
it
Potter
sucks that
thing,
there was a choice, and they
if
chose to recast. Yeah.
yeah, like if the guy who played Dumbledore from Azkaban on would have been Dumbledore from the start, obviously wouldn't have had a problem with him. But I really did like Dumbledore in Chamber of Secrets and Sorcerer's Stone. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did.
No, I feel you. Trust
And
me,
I mean,
I did
I
too.
get it. He died. Like he had to be recasted.
Right.
So I was gonna have that with literally anybody they put in the spot.
Right. Right. Right.
And I guess my overall point is just recasting suck,
Oh yeah.
and especially
Oh,
when you can avoid it.
take
Like,
Hellboy. That's a pretty divisive one, and honestly, I'm not sure what the fuck they were thinking there. And I have nothing against what's his face.
David Harbour.
Yeah, I don't have anything against him whatsoever. But he just which we talked about this, I think, in our previous episode, the most recent episode we just did. Hellboy 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, I I'm not gonna watch the new Hellboy and just think, huh, what a swell choice to recast this man. No,
Yeah,
man. And again, I don't even know the reason behind that, but it was. I don't care what the reason was. It was fucking dumb.
yeah. And ultimately, what they say in Never Sleep Again, what it came down to, it just wanted money, and like not like I think it was Rodney Eastman who said it wasn't like she wasn't wanting like $1 million or whatever like that. They didn't give a figure, but he said it was very little, but they still didn't want to pay it,
Hmm.
which I think does hurt. Like maybe at the time it didn't hurt the product as much, but the further we get away from August 19th, 1988, it hurts it
Hmm.
going down, the line. And considering the amount of money that this movie made, like there is no reason that they couldn't. It just a shitty thing. And
Yeah.
I really wish they would have just kept her and got her locked down, because even though it's a little part of Kristen in this movie, because Kristen ain't in this movie very long. None of
No.
the last of the Elm Street children are in this movie, which some people have a massive problem with that. I honestly don't, because it makes sense in like story wise why Freddy has to kill all the last of the or all the Elm Street kids. So then that way he could just start killing fucking everybody else.
Right.
So I've never had a problem with that. I know a lot of people do, and I don't know.
Maybe it's more so that they got killed off so soon or something. I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty quick in the movie. Like I will say
Yeah.
that, but like, because for instance, what was it, Alice from Friday the 13th? Like she gets killed right out of the gate on Friday the 13th Part Two. Literally, never really had a big issue with that. Like she did, because when she talks about it in Crystal Lake Memories, she is like still pissed to this day about it. And it's the way I've always rationed, it's like you survived Pamela Voorhees. You, her son's a whole completely different fucking animal,
Yeah.
literally.
She's
Like,
an old woman.
yeah, yeah. You survived an old woman. You're not going to survive this fucking monstrosity that's
Hulking
possibly a
monstrosity. Yeah.
deadite.
Exactly.
So, um, but one thing that's awesome about it, and at least they had the sense to give us a super strong final girl in Dream Master. 'Cause I absolutely love Alice as a final girl. Like, she starts off the movie, super like, oh shit, I'm just gonna daydream all the time. But then after Kristen dies, it's like literally even her face changes. I don't know if that's just me or what, but like when I was younger, I swear to God, it was like a different chick that's
Mm.
playing her. And then after each death, she gets like a power or something from them, which is awesome to be able to fight Freddy at the end. Because this is easily probably the second best, if not the best, like final fight for Freddy, like in the franchise. Because even three is awesome, but the Hall of Mirrors, and then down there in the fucking the I guess the boiler room, like where Nancy had to save Joey and stuff,
Mm.
like that wasn't like action packed or anything. Like it was suspenseful because like, oh fuck, what's going on? But this is like just straight up like 80s action movie fucking fighting, and I love it, and I'm there for every second of it.
Yeah. This one I noticed right off the bat, they slathered like an extra heaping load of cheese into the dialogue, at least in the first bit of it. Um, I noticed that was pretty glaring to me anyway. Right off the bat, everything just like, I mean, obviously there's cheesiness to all of these because that's part of their charm. But I feel like in this
Yeah.
one in particular, they ramped the shit up like fucking straight up ultra sharp cheddar on this motherfucker because it was
Any
super cheesy at the beginning and
anything in particular?
just the dialogue between the friends at the beginning was what like really spiked it for me. And then the girl with the glasses, the nerdy girl, what the fuck's her
Yeah.
name? Sheila, I think was her name.
Yeah, Sheila. Yeah.
Sheila and that other girl that she was always bantering with, like where like at first it was hard to tell if she was getting bullied into like doing her homework for her or some shit, but then it kind of
Yeah.
it kind of led into her like kind of liking it. They were just like bantering between each other and shit. Every single like line of dialogue between the two of them was fucking just straight corny as fuck.
Mind over matter.
Yeah, it was just wildly corny, which I mean, and it's not like a big gripe or anything. It's just something I noticed was like so off kilter compared to the other ones. Like
No,
this
that is 100% fair. Yeah.
this one you could feel the 80s in this one, like hardcore. You could feel the 80s, just poking through the script. But
And another thing I don't really like saying, for the most part, the kills, I don't want to say lackluster. I'll just say okay. Like,
there were two in this one that I do remember. One in particular.
Debbie's kill is probably the best in this one.
Is she the one that got turned into a cockroach?
Yeah, the Roach Hotel.
Yeah,
Freddy
yeah, yeah.
crushes it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
That one in particular, I did remember, and I was like, huh, yeah, I forgot that happened in this fucking movie. The second I seen the cockroach, I was like, oh shit, that is from this one, and I don't know why I was thinking this was from the next one. But I got them jumbled up. But yeah, that one, and then Sheila actually, she gets her fucking she gets all of her fucking soul and organs and shit sucked out through a straw or whatever.
Wanna suck face?
Yeah. He just fucking straight up kisses her or something, but inhales all of her organs or something.
No, one thing that was awesome that Toy Newkirk said during Never Sleep Again was like when they filmed that, like I guess Robert's dentures like flew into her mouth.
Oh,
So like she had the Freddy dentures in her mouth and stuff.
no, dude. Oh, that's rough. That's rough.
Yeah. Oh. Ugh.
That adds like a whole different layer to that fucking scene. Holy shit. Ugh.
But
Ugh.
but like the other kills, for instance, like Kincaid, the resurrection of Freddy was interesting to say the least. Yeah, tell him Freddy sent you. And then,
Yeah,
the Hellhound pissing fire
that
to
was pretty.
resurrect Freddy.
That was pretty lit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like watching Freddy get put back together,
Yeah,
like
that had
that was
some.
awesome.
That had some Hellraiser one vibes when what's his face was being brought back into the world. You know,
Yeah.
same
No, that
same feeling during that scene as I did with when Freddy was coming back.
Oh, Frank?
Frank, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
just a little bit less slimy,
Yeah.
a little bit less
Little
goopy and shit, but still same concept. Like it looked similar in style, but
but yeah, Kincaid's overall death just like I was
yeah,
like, oh
he got him a
man.
couple times, I think, but still, come on, man. And I get it. He's got the fucking glove. He's got to use it from time to time, but for
I
Kincaid, come on, dude. You could have
like
given better than that.
yeah, my problem with his death is I guess not necessarily the way he's dispatched, but just the fact that it happened so fast. Because he pushes the car on Freddy, and yeah, take that motherfucker, and then shit, flames start shooting out of cars. They're closing him in. I wanted to see Kincaid like go fucking toe to toe with Freddy, like get a couple blows in, not just like
Yeah.
like add a couple minutes of just fighting. Like,
Also, the amount of missed opportunities for Kincaid's death to be such a like so much more creative were so like disappointing because he could have easily imagine, if you will, Derek, two cars just like ramming into him at the same time and his fucking head pops or some shit like that. That's got Freddy written all over it. That would have been fucking hilarious for one to see, but two, it would have been cool to see the practical effects for that.
yeah,
Um, or just being crushed by a car in general, or head smashed by a fucking hood of a car, or I don't know. There was the whole junkyard full of fucking shit he could have been killed with, and he just
I would have been cool with like Freddy like taking two cars, crashing him into him, essentially rendering his legs completely useless.
yeah
Just crawling through the dirt, all bloody, and then Freddy just that
yeah
like something. It needed more. Like I definitely
flaming
like where you're
flaming piss from a dog. Come
flaming
on,
piss from a dog, and then Kincaid just gets a
yeah, come
here you
on,
go,
man.
buddy.
That would have been fucking
Tickle.
hilarious, dude.
Little slap and tickle.
Dude, it would have been hilarious, and it would have been fun and like stupid. All things that are like front and center at the kills in this movie, you know. But no, he just got stabbed through the stomach a couple
And then
times.
Joey's kill, I go back and forth on. It is unique, like Freddy coming out of the fucking waterbed and drowning him, but still at the same time,
There have been
it
better bed kills in the franchise so far.
1,000%. And then Kristen just getting thrown into like a boiling vat of like
Yeah,
fucking what? Like
yeah, that's fair.
that's what we get. But
I will say the bed kill on this one though, was a little bit ominous because when the mom came back in and it showed him just like dead
under the
underneath
bed,
the
yeah.
water, that was kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie, but again, I have a thing with like faces and shit, so um, just
I
picturing
just
somebody dead just laying there in the fucking like plastic sack of water is kind of weird to me. But
I don't know. I guess I know there's a fair bit of struggle with like Joey during that scene and Freddy and I would have like I wanted more from
yeah,
it. And same with Kristen. Like I guess the manner at which they're disposed of, I don't have a problem with, but I just wish there would have been more fighting element to it, or like because they do just kind of quick. Yeah, you guys weren't shit. How'd you survive the last movie against me? And yeah, like the only one that makes sense is like Sheila, like because she was a nerdy girl, and just getting the life and everything just effing sucked out of her. Like that, yeah, that one makes sense. And then we do get some fighting, but the only problem is we don't see Freddy at all. We don't see Freddy at all.
yeah,
And one thing I will definitely say, and I'll definitely blame Rennie Harlan for this one because Andros Jones, who played Rick, he like studied like he was actually like going to karate class, legit learning karate, and then Rennie's just like, oh no, throw like John Wayne and shit. It's like, no, like, come on, like that whole thing. The older I get, it's lame, and then just the glove flying into him.
Yeah.
Disappointing kills.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree.
but Debbie's kill was easily the best of the movie. Like, fucking breaking her goddamn arms off and her turning into cockroach. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that was fucked. And I will say Sheila's death was pretty fucked. But just watching her whole entire life force get sucked out and like shrivel up and shit was kind of just, I don't know. I love the effects though. Practical effects for me are just fucking awesome. But
and even when Freddy throws her down and you just see like she's got the dead person eyes too and every man.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm a sucker for practical effects, as are you. I'm pretty sure. And anything that will anything that's going to give me some cool practical effects like that, I'm here for it. Speaking of practical effects, I'm pretty sure isn't Freddy's death in this one as well at the end with the fucking his death when he gets ripped apart by the souls and shit like that.
Love it.
That was pretty fucking rad. I'm not gonna lie, that was absolutely gnarly. And this one also is the same movie that has, I think it's Kristen's soul gets put into him and her face comes out of his chest and shit.
That's okay. So in 3, they touched on like Freddy traps the souls of all those children, and then so after Kristen's in the vat boiling alive, then
her soul goes into him, and then her face pops out of his chest or something.
Yeah, it's like right in the middle of his chest, like a Superman logo, and then that shoots and gives Alice Kristen's power to be able to pull people into.
Just the faces coming out of him in general has always been really fucking cool to me, but seeing it resemble one of the characters so clearly in this one was pretty cool.
I thought like when they did it in 3, they looked pretty fucking spot on. Like I could look at his fucking chest and I could tell you which character is which.
Maybe I wasn't looking hard enough, I guess, but yeah, anytime they show the faces in his chest at all, it's just cool. But just a damn cool costume design, you know. But I don't know. That's got some fucking like some demon from hell type shit written all over it. Some fucking, I don't know, fucking wild. I love every second of it.
But the way they dispose of or dispatch Freddy in this one, I will say it is easily the best of the 4. Like,
it's gnarly, dude.
Yeah, like insane. Just the fucking arms coming, like he's got an arm coming out of his ass, holding on to the thing, arm coming out of the back of the head, the fucking kids popping out, and Linnea Quigley up there fucking putting boobs and like.
Hell yeah.
I'm a man. I'm gonna mention that.
Facts.
But yeah, just I like it was just awesome. And then ripping Freddy's like mouth, and then all of so awesome, so well done. So like I guess at least like a lot of the other kills were not thought out, didn't give enough time to cook. Freddy's at least did.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what matters the most, I guess.
I will say that the kills in this one, at the very least, were more creative than 2 by a mile and a half.
Yeah.
So there's that.
But 2 has some pretty bad ones. Like 2's probably got the worst. I don't know. If we're not counting the remake, 2 has some of the worst kills in the franchise.
Anytime that I'm referencing these movies as a whole, I am not counting the remake.
I know, I'm not either, but there's somebody
Freddy
out
versus
there that
Jason.
probably... Yeah. We can't... Well, okay. Freddy gets 1 kill in Freddy versus Jason. Okay?
Yeah.
I already bitched about this once,
That's
and I'm
lame.
still pissed about it. I've been pissed about this for 21 years, all right? Like, I'm never getting over it.
Even though, Jason's got a higher body count, so it makes sense that he'd get more kills and so forth. Come on, dude. You're going to do a fucking movie where they're both, like, Freddy versus Jason? at least let the man have a little bit more of a fighting chance, for fuck's sake. Come on
Yeah,
now.
give him something. Come on, like, or give him something. You didn't. All right, but anyways, yeah, I guess the last thing I would definitely say, and I did kind of say this. Lisa Wilcox, Alice Johnson, just awesome. I loved her as the final girl, and
Yeah, she grew on me.
Freddie.
She grew on me a
Yeah,
little bit, but I didn't like her at first. But by the end of the movie,
Freddie.
I was rooting for her.
Freddie is ultimately as good as his final girl, and if the final girl is great, the villain is great.
Mm-hmm.
If the final girl is a man, movie's probably just going to be okay at best. That's, I guess, what we can establish from that.
I want that on a shirt. I want that on a shirt so bad.
YouTube Shorts. All right.
Or a short too, but we need to put that on a fucking shirt. We need to make some merch, dude. That was fucking gold. Oh my god, I love that. Get a picture of your face and the fucking speech bubble just says that. Fuck, that was good. Anyway, love it. Love, love, love. I might make that happen. I'm not gonna lie. I'd wear that.
Well, I'd wear it.
I know. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
But and also, just like I said with 2, if it seems like I'm shitting on 4, I'm really not. Because ultimately, I did like all the characters in this movie. There wasn't a character that I was just like, God, I want fucking dead. It's just that the kills kind of lack a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, it's definitely in the better half of my Nightmare on Elm Street ranking. I will 100% say that.
Okay. Well, it only gets better from here. Stay tuned for part 2, where we discuss the better half of the franchise.
Yeah, where we discuss the Dream Child, Freddy's Dead, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and a movie that came out in 2010.
God bless America. Jesus Christ.
I'm just going to end it right now. Oh, I actually did almost stab myself in
Yeah,
the throat.
don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway. Yeah, that'll about conclude our Nightmare on Elm Street 1 through 4 discussion. Let us know down in the comments below. What are your thoughts on these 4 movies? Is your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie within these 4? I hope so.
Mine is.
Mine is also, definitely. And yeah, stay tuned for the next time we talk about Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm not going to say when that's going to be, because who knows? We might put that out next. We might put that out in a couple weeks. We might put that out next year. It just depends on when we can record it.
We've got a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out here. A lot of end of year stuff that's coming out.
We do have a lot of end of year stuff. That I can tell you, especially our top 5 albums of 2024 should be coming out very, very soon. So, more specific date, just wait till mid to end December, and it'll be out.
It'll be waiting for you.
Yep. In the meantime, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more like this. Also, I'm going to try to go back and link our Spotify now that we have a Spotify in the description of most of our videos. So that way you can check out our Spotify as well, which should only have 3 episodes on it based on this episode so far. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And if you are listening to this on Spotify, check us out on YouTube, because you're going to find a whole bunch more content there. Stuff that's not going to, unfortunately, be put up on Spotify just because we didn't have Spotify in mind when we were originally making those videos. So, I know, we suck, but it's okay, because it is on YouTube.
We're growing, damn it.
Yeah, we're figuring shit out as we go. Just kind of winging it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace.